Mr. Daniel Ayebare is chairman of the Uganda Financial Literacy Association, as an association with over 2,200 plus members, and these are people that are interested in promoting financial literacy across Uganda. Also joining us online, you will be surprised on this one, but it's none other than the Chief Executive Officer of the Nairobi Securities Exchange, Mr. Odundo Geoffrey. Mr. Odundo is joining us from Nairobi, and we are very glad to have you, gentlemen. You're most welcome to the program, Mr. Odundo and Mr. Ayebare.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you very much.
Well, I'll start with you, Mr. Ayebare. Here we have a very interesting association here which promotes financial literacy, and I want to first of all get your views on the extent to which Ugandans have been able, first of all, to embrace financial markets. We have, for example, the markets in Kenya with millions of investors. Here, our market investor base is at least at around 130,000 investors. Out of the 45 million people, that still seems a very small number. So, to what extent have the financial markets penetrated the population in Uganda?
Thank you, Anthony. This is a very wonderful question. To be honest and to be straightforward, we're doing badly as a country. If you look at the recent capability survey done by the Bank of Uganda in 2020, a survey was done to see how people appreciate the different instruments in the financial and banking sector. And one of the parameters that surprised us the most, actually surprised me the most, was the fact that only 1.1% of Ugandans even know what Uganda Securities Exchange is about.
Yeah.
And this is, when we speak of this, we're not just saying these are people in villages.
Yeah.
We're not saying these are the people from the poorest side of the country. Even the middle class people here, people that we assume to be more savvy, have very little knowledge about the opportunities that the financial markets offer. So, as an association, it is one of the things that we are looking at promoting in terms of providing this information, especially for those that are already earning something or extra that can actually be able to help them facilitate their involvement in the financial market. So we have a lot of work to do. Like I said, only 1.1% people can even define what the Uganda Securities Exchange is, and more, and what still be able to relate with what the financial markets are about. And we have a very big opportunity there as the association to be able to disseminate this information, starting from around where we are, but also taking it to the last person in mind.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Ayebare, for that insight. Mr. Odundo, if you can hear me right now, very warm greetings from Kampala here. Thank you so much for joining us. We would like, first of all, to start with what you're doing in Nairobi Securities Exchange in order to promote financial literacy and investment, especially local investment. One of the challenges that we have as Africa is the fact that we have an influx of foreign investors, for example, in our financial markets that actually do influence how our markets move, and very little local investment has been done. What is Nairobi Securities Exchange doing in order to actually widen the local investor base? Mr. Odundo.
Thank you very much, and a great moment to be here. So at the Nairobi Securities Exchange, we have been trying to advance a lot of financial literacy through a number of programs. Primarily, we run an academy here we call the NSC Academy. And in that academy, we have different programs, some targeting the supply side of the market. And these are basically the companies that want to raise money. And the other one's targeting the investors. So on the supply side, we do run courses about fundraising, around governance, around the benefits of capital market financing. And on the demand side, we run programs to educate people about investments, about how to create wealth, and how to just understand the benefits of financial products. So it's a very double or a two-point strategy in terms of penetrating or enhancing financial education, and in the process, financial inclusion. That's what we do. Now, for companies, especially SME companies, we do have a platform or an incubation program, which we call the Ibuka. Ibuka in Kenya means Emerge. And in that program, we take companies through a corporatization process. So we take you through learning how to be a properly run company, how to be well-governed, how to raise money. And eventually, we then take you to another platform, which we call the NSE Connect, that now does your evaluations and prepares you for investor readiness. Now, those two platforms help us now get companies that are now, especially as SMEs, that can come to the market. So, and then finally, we work closely also with the industry. We work with the Association of Stockbrokers. We work with the Fund Managers Association, with the Capital Markets Authority, to run open courses, to run open forums, to also just invite corporate companies to come and understand what we do so that we can get investor interest and also help them understand how to raise the money. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Odundo, for that response. Very clear here. And I think Uganda Securities Exchange is sort of doing the same thing, though here we call the initiative a DALA, where we have small companies coming on board before they get to meet the requirements of listing, so they can be actually taken through the process. Now, Mr. Daniel, when you look at one of the challenges that is hampering investment in the financial markets is the source of financing. Why the source of financing? We have a very we are experiencing very harsh economic conditions at the moment, with inflation going up. I've just read about the Kenyan shilling as well, that has been immensely affected recently, with now crossing over the 150 mark, you can imagine, and the Ugandan shilling as well has been affected likewise. So there's a lot of pressure, economic pressure, on the pockets of individuals. What are some of the ways that people can be able to source for financing, either a non-bank financing or any other financing entities that can be able to help us boost investment, especially on the local market?
Thank you. Without doubt, we need to build our earnings capacity as a country, but especially as individuals and citizens. For us at the association, really what we are focusing on is making sure and every individual has got the right information to know what to invest, how to invest, and how actually the criteria to find something that they can invest in that can make them money. We need cash flow, and the financial market, like you know, is long term. So we first of all need to be able to survive the short term, be able to survive in the medium, and then you go ahead to the long term. So what our emphasis is for our people is, first of all, find ways of saving money, find ways of investing in what from where you are, from where we have different avenues. Of course, even the money markets provide some of these short-term opportunities where people can invest money in, and it's coming probably in a year or so, or even less. But we also have the traditional ways we can invest in, and so just getting the information to know that this is how you can actually increase on your cash. You can increase money by either spending less or actually adding on our income streams. So this is the information that we're taking down to the last person, to be able to increase your income base so that you're able to build certain portfolios that are available, especially in the financial markets. Then, like you have said, we have institutions, different institutions have come up and they're forming different associations that can they're actually beginning to pool funds together for their members to be able to access resources to invest in some of these organizations. Some of these are corporate organizations, some of these are individual organizations, people who have come together to build their capital base to be able to afford some of these facilities. One of the ways that we are saying, that we are promoting, is we need to remove this thing called individualism. I want to make my own money. If me and you decided to want to invest in a certain portfolio, I bring my little income and you put yours, we could be able to access some of these funds. So some of actually most of the solutions are within us. If we have the right mindset to say, how do we get there? We shall really get there. And starting with the resources that we have and the capacity that we can build on, we can be able to achieve the right resources to be able to participate in these markets. But information is very critical. Like my colleague says, Many of us do not know that these opportunities exist, and we do not know what the advantages that they come with. So information is going to be very critical, and how these people get that interest to participate in the financial markets.
Yeah.
But priority should be put on building income at lower level.
Yeah.
And these are some of the government programs that are running. We need to see how to support people at the grassroots to be able to, first of all, increase their income so that they have the capacity and the disposable income to be able to invest in those markets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Ebari. And finally, Mr. Dundo, I would like to put the same question to you right now. We have challenges concerning financing, especially when it comes to investing in financial markets. You find that the initial requirements sometimes are quite high for an investor who is earning, for example, on average $3 a day or less. So what could be some of the solutions that the Nairobi Securities Exchange is looking at in order to allow people access financing to be able to invest? Because at the end of the day, you need money to live on day by day, but also this investment is so important for the long-term gain. Mr. Dundo.
So I think the first thing is that you must make sure that the products that you give or the products that you bring to the market are really within the target price or the target range for investors. I'll give you two examples. So in Kenya, we did have, about 3 years ago, we launched a program we called the Emakiba, which was a bond targeting the small end of the market. And the bond was going for 3,000 Kenya shillings. That was just really targeting the bottom of the pyramid investors, and also just to help them educate. Now, that bond attracted a lot of interest. We got over 500,000 new registered accounts. And it was just like a good test case of how we can really create a low-end product for a low denomination product for the market. So that's one way of doing it. Let the products be accessible, let them be affordable. The other way is to help them become into aggregators. Now, for a small amount of money, if you try to play the market direct, the volatility is too high. And hence you'll come in and lose some money and then just lose hope. So why don't you go into aggregators like unit trusts, collective investment schemes, and again, those products are available and they have low entry points. So that's another avenue that I think retail investors can come through. And then most of our financial institutions are offering credit facilities to facilitate investments. So it's more like leveraged investments. I know for a startup, for somebody starting to invest, this is a bit of a risky move because of the costs, but at least that opportunity does exist, that if you do have some assets, you can actually leverage them and also continue to invest in them. So I think for me, and how we want to encourage people to invest in the markets is that it's not, you don't need to look for a lot of money. It's about coming in and having a discipline towards it and a consistency towards it. And that's what helps you create wealth. Otherwise, if you wait, look for these lump sums, you will actually, the market might move and it will never be waiting for you. So I think it's just how the discipline starts out as you start to come to the investment career.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Odundo. We're going to take a very quick breather, and Mr. Odundo gave a very good response there on looking for alternative investments that require smaller investments, especially the initial investments like collective investment schemes. I can say, Mr. Odundo, those are some of the most popular investments right now in Uganda. When you look at the curves, the trend has been an upward one in terms of investment. Now, when we return, Mr. Ebari and Mr. Odundo, we want to look at the opportunities that are present for East Africa. We have different markets, Kenya being the strongest. We have Uganda, we do have Rwanda Stock Exchange, we do have Dar es Salaam. But where is the problem in the integration? Why aren't we integrating our capital markets? Why do we still have different settlement, different central depository systems? Yet we could have one central depository system, one settlement system whereby people can be able to actually buy shares, buy stocks and bonds on a one-stop center. My name is Anthony. This is Smart 24 TV. We drive your business. We return shortly after this quick break.
2024, Driving Business.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
Their start is getting better.
All in the language of your choice. All in HD. Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Get DSTV with an HD decoder plus installation and 1 month family for 89,000 Ugandan shillings. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
Chabazinga gabula na diopo wokuna afunvuwe twide wano mukazi mingi sobola kubanga tuwaya kuna batyambe bageme chebalina kulwalata basobola kubanga bawayo ayenga mbyona bina tubakoba anti wayo ngoko esamo mope
yabalina obugambo bw'omukwano nga bw'omubotaba
kuti omuziro ogwo likuba gwaki kobera kwa abantu
gwakuwa chabazinga atuletere ine bantu
ng'okozesa ki
momope tulibakusimwino okubonanga mwidia ku bitundu byaife n'okutuwagira
mukozese momope nga musobola okulankulanya omukolo gwayise bantu
bana tibasala momope yabwerere tuli kuniga sita ndala mukaaga itanu sita otege isatu oteo ash onige yes.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3#.
Cooking oil like no other makes a meal so sweet and scrumptious. The taste of Uganda, yeah, the taste of Uganda, the taste of Uganda.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter